Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
I think it very likely is going to be that rise to the top side. Now, this is a lot of magic damage.
I love production. They're like, I don't know, like, what is Dove going to pick this time?
So it's a lot of magic damage, and as he goes very low, we'll have that attached cooldown. But it's going outside of the... Oh.
Okay.
Exchange.
Rocco's in a bit of trouble here. Xinjiao very good at trading. Closer going to get the first rotation. Dread is going to get knocked up, flashed on top of by Krocko. Didn't look like Dread had any cooldowns.
He resets for free, and guess where Krocko is? He's pushing up.
Oh, another trade here as Kale is in a lot of trouble, but now Envy trying to frontline for him, takes a lot of damage himself, is going to eat that W, the Deadly Flourish from Ghost, and gets shot in the face. And then Graves, he gets out of there. So much pressure being shown up in the top side. That's the third time that Dread has been there, and still no kills onto Dove.
Yeah, I mean, people were really not high on Dove playing this top. As now, look at this, Krocko's over here. He drops Rift Herald and kind of has to know he's here because who dropped Herald?
It's just way too much damage coming out here. Does not matter that Dread is around. A lot of damage now onto Krocko, but it's not quite enough. He's trying to get in there. As will he even kill him? Finally he does, but he takes his own life for it. Those Liiv SANDBOX do get the 2-for-1. He's getting another Drake right now, as he will pick up the Infernal Drake for his team. As you know, we've been talking about this, but Nongshim are still in the lead when it comes to gold.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, I think a lot of that comes down to the amount of time Krocko has spent out.
And Yuumi Talon is really annoying to deal with. I mean, Dread is basically just ice skating around them all. BDD trying to frontline here, maybe a little bit too far forward, as now we're going to have Dread going in, though. Maybe well baited, as Dove, though, is also not going to go down. Peter gets extremely low, but hops onto the back of Ghost, as now frontlining here is Closer. Going to pick up that flash, but isn't able to do anything with it, as he will be the first one to go down.
Victor flank here for BDD. Needs to get into range.
The flash, and look at this. Ghost is just all alone in the front line, and he immediately gets rooted down by the Rise. Easy catch for Dove. Has to use his flash, but it is immensely worth it, as they also pick up that Cloud Soul point.
Because in this neutral game between objectives, their composition isn't great at team fighting, but they are good at looking for picks.
Well, you don't have your ult this time around, and you do not have your flash either, Dove. You are dead meat. As the follow-up gang comes in. Again, Talon Yuumi, it's extremely obnoxious. Talon has flash.
Kind of leaning with you on that. I would have liked the Void Staff here, but Dread going in.
We're going to have to see how this one goes, as the Yuumi on top of Dread, making this so easy, but Krocko, pretty unkillable. Takes a while to take him down. He does go down in the end, though, as Kale is still here, trying to just help his teammates that are TPing into their death, and he goes down as well. As BDD is just doing way too much damage here in the front.
His items online, the Victor who's starting to come online. You can't afford to make a mistake against this comp because you will get 100-0 so fast. Nongshim's composition, you make a play like that, you can push Liiv SANDBOX away and then take out this Baron. It's not the fastest Baron ever by any means, but it's fast enough. Karma's super late to this, and that should be for free. You got to be careful even here if Krocko is getting that close, because they actually get you, if they pick off Krocko here and Dove with that Baron buff, they get inhibitors, maybe they can even end the game. You got to be so careful right now.
Liiv SANDBOX trying to take a little bite out of Nongshim while they can. They actually do get an objective bounty here on this mid tier 1, so not half bad. We're trying to catch up at this point in the game. Not going to be quite enough.
Somebody gets blown up or get knocked down to, you know, half health or less, then you don't ever get to play those front-to-back team fights as Liiv SANDBOX. And that's what keeps happening to them. And now that there's a Baron buff on the other side of the map, there's just not much they can do. They have to kind of sit back. At least Zoe might grab an objective bounty top. That would be, you know, best case scenario here for Liiv SANDBOX for free. It looks like they're going to get away with it.
Dove's trying to get cheeky here in the mid lane, but Dread is right on top of him. And Dove, you know, he's quite tanky, but he still has to go into that stopwatch. The flashes will be followed, and Dove will survive, but you know, it's just grasping at straws here now for Liiv SANDBOX. They are losing way too much at this point in the game.
Yeah, they're losing it so quickly as well. Closer did grab that objective bounty I was talking about on the top side, but it's so insignificant compared to losing this inhibitor. He is going to rejoin, and they have an opportunity to try to catch Nongshim here if Kana stays too long.
Okay, trying to, you know, Krocko's trying to be relevant at this point in time, and yes, we will have a sleep onto Victor. And there's the damage. I mean, he barely does anything. The Chaos Storm comes in, and it's doing more to the enemy side. Envy even in trouble here, as he will at least have some doubt to block that one. But it's going to be double inhibitor on the first Baron play of the game. And Liiv SANDBOX kind of just falling apart at the seams.
That's a Victor surviving without going to really struggle to actually hit their targets if you don't have vision control, if you don't have map presence.
All right, here we go. Kana over the wall. As Liiv SANDBOX, it's almost like they didn't expect this fight to break out, as now Dove is going to be left alone. He does not have a flash. He's got a Karma, but he's just going to get blasted in the face by the collateral damage. No hope for him, as even Closer has to flash away, and that is a really deep teleport. This might just be the end of the game. Kana's looking to take names behind enemy lines, as flashes will come in. Peter gonna soak up that sleep from the Zoe, as Nongshim are just, man, they are ruthless, still just going for more and more.
Know that if Liiv SANDBOX is looking to fight, their composition falls apart like a house of cards when he's just like, it's just as far as we can go.
Wow, okay, so Kyle is just dead.
Ouch.
Yeah. I don't know, Liiv SANDBOX seemed great when they were ahead, but now that we see them from behind, it's like, ooh, I don't know, like, I don't want to read this chapter. Can we go back to when they were winning?
Yeah,
because they looked great then.
We've seen them recover from behind, but not, that was at the beginning of the game, not the end.
Yeah. As Closer's absolutely dead. He doesn't have his flash here. Down he will go. Krako has survived so many times because he's Xinjiao. And even then, I mean, Kana's hunting for him.
Kana's just trying to kill the Nexus at this point. He's like, I'm ready for game 2. And, I mean, Dread has been so oppressive. Once Nongshim had vision control, he has caught players several times this game. He's a 3-2-5 Talon. It's not the best scoreline. It's not the scoreline that makes you get hyped, but it's good enough. He's doing his job extremely well in this mid to late game.
Yeah, there's some pieces for Nongshim. I'm not even going to have time to mention it, as everybody's just being blasted in the face, as we do see it from both the Talon and the Graves. As Ghost is just having fun at this point in time. The game will now end, as BDD trying to up those damage numbers if he possibly can. But they should be able to take down the Nexus and take game number 1. Dread will go down, actually, as Krako will get the shutdown there. But Nongshim will run away with game number 1.
Really well played by both sides. I felt like Nongshim